Jayson Tatum is one of the most polarizing figures in the NBA today. Fans are either going to love him or they're going to hate him. You see conversations about Jaylen Brown is better than Jayson Tatum, that he is carried by a super team, and that if he didn't play for the Boston Celtics, he would be a glorified role player and not even in top 10 conversations. Now, I believe the reason why Tatum finds himself in these conversations is he's not always consistent as a superstar, which is fair because we saw in the 2022 NBA Finals, he laid a dud. He didn't play well. He didn't show up. And people wondered, okay, is Jayson Tatum that guy? And then you come to the 2023 playoffs. We saw him against the Sixers. He was up and down in that playoff series. He played better in the Miami series, but people wondered, okay, can Jayson Tatum be that guy and lead you to an NBA championship? Now, he did lead the Celtics in points, rebounds, and assists when it came to winning the championship, but it felt underwhelming. And the reason why I say that because his three-point percentage was really bad. His overall field goal percentage was not that good. And Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP. In the national media, people are saying, well, Jaylen Brown is better than Tatum right now. He is carrying the Celtics team. And not all that's true because playmaking and rebounding was really good for Jayson Tatum in that playoff run where they won the championship. Now, this year, when it comes to MVP, he has the fifth best odds. Guys ahead of him are Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, SGA, and you have Giannis on there. So you have to wonder, well, this guy is an NBA champion. Why doesn't he get more respect? And should Jayson Tatum even care about MVP right now? Now, there was a Forbes interview a couple weeks ago where he said one of his goals is to win MVP one day. Now, I admire Tatum for going after that goal. When I came into the season, I had to rank Tatum on the top 10 list. I had him 6. Right now, to me, he has reached top 5 conversations. Whether you like him or not, he's shooting the ball better from 3. He's at 36%. I know his field goal percentage is down a little bit, but he's still averaging 28 points a night. He's getting you 9 rebounds and 5 or 6 assists. And that's still really good. Now, I understand that the true shooting percentage could be a little bit higher. He's at 59%. I also understand that he takes way too many three-point shots. 10 attempts a night is way too much for a guy who's 6'8". In my personal opinion, when it comes to Jayson Tatum and his shot selection, I think he can be lazy at times because there are moments in the game where he starts out, he's chucking threes, and you're like, dude, get to the rim. Go draw fouls. Work on your mid-range game. When I see a guy like Peyton Pritchard able to drive in the lane, stop in the dime, and pull up over his defender, why can't Tatum do that consistently? It just doesn't make any sense. I see a guy like SGA for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He gets to the line. He relies on his mid-range shot more than his three-point shot because he shoots 34% from 3. And Tatum, even though he's streaky at times from 3, you want more from him because he should be a 3-level scorer more consistently. He should have a consistent post game. He should be more consistent in the mid-range area. But when he drives to the lane, he's uncertain. Now, he does get double teams at times, but when he's able to get to the rim and get by his defender, he blows layups or he doesn't have a consistent finishing move. So I think a lot of the scrutiny comes with, well, you rely on your jump shot a lot and you're 6'8", and you should be better than this. And I get all that. I think those are fair criticisms. I think for Tatum, if he wants to get into MVP conversations, he has to be a consistent 3-level scorer. As a Celtics fan, I got to be objective here. I think he's top 5 right now. But to compete with guys like Giannis, who has improved his mid-range shot, Nikola Jokic is above everybody else, SGA, who can shoot in the mid-range, and then you have Luka Doncic, who can go off for like 45 points in one night like we saw against the Warriors, where he had a triple-double. You just have to wonder, okay, how can Tatum reach that next level? By relying on the mid-range game, getting in the post, finishing better at the rim. Because there's too many times where you see him fall in love with that three-point shot, and when he's shooting 1 of 8 from 3, he's got like 10 points in the third quarter. That is not good enough to be considered in these MVP conversations. That's why he finds himself 5th as the best odds to win MVP. So I think he needs to be a consistent 3-level scorer in order to get in these conversations and have a good shot at winning the MVP someday, because the competition is fierce. Luka, Giannis, Jokic, SGA. You've got to make your game better, and you've got to have more variety when it comes to your offense. On defense, he's elite. He can rebound the ball. He's very versatile, but we care about your offense as well. And when we see a Jaylen Brown or a Derek White hitting those big shots when it matters, and Tatum is either struggling to finish at the rim, or he's taken a contested step back 3, which is a bad shot, you wonder, okay, we see the potential, But at the same time, we can't put you in these conversations. That's okay. But if you want to be put in the MVP conversations, you got to be more consistent as a three-level scorer. Now, the pathway for Tatum to win it this year, he's got to have an elite month in January. The reason why I bring that month up, he's got to go to Oklahoma City. He's got to go to Denver. He's also got to play Dallas on the road that month. He's got Houston on the road, Minnesota. So at the beginning of January, he's got to go to Minnesota. He's got to go to Houston, Oklahoma City, and Denver. He's got to play Orlando in that same month. Atlanta, Golden State, both games in LA. I know LA teams aren't that good this year, but you're on the road playing hopefully Kawhi Leonard at the time and a healthy AD and LeBron James. And then you still got to go to Dallas in that same month. Jayson Tatum has to go to a new level because if he doesn't, the race is over for him to win MVP this season. I'm just going to be completely honest. So if Tatum wants to get some level of respect, you got to get better in the mid-range game. You got to be able to finish at the rim more consistently and not live and die by the three-point shot. 10 three-point attempts is way too much. I don't like that shot die. He should be at 6 or 7 a game and being more reliant on his mid-range game because his numbers will get better, his efficiency will be more improved, and it's a better shot, in my opinion. Now, let's just say he doesn't win MVP this year. I think what will help him in the playoffs, shoot 30% from three, get your field goal percentage around like 50% a night, and make sure your shot day on three-point shooting goes down to 7 attempts a night. You're getting to the line more consistently. You're hitting more mid-range shots. That will change the perspective of Jayson Tatum, and you have to win Finals MVP, which means if you play the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals, you have to match or be better than SGA. If he does that, the narrative in Jayson Tatum's name will change forever because now he's a 2-time champion. He's a Finals MVP, and all that momentum will carry to next season. I guarantee if he outperforms SGA or Jokic if they end up getting to the finals, or Luka Doncic again. Now, I don't think he outperformed Luka last year. I think they were sort of even in my opinion because Luka defensively wasn't that good and Tatum didn't shoot the ball well. So if he matches them or outperforms them, that will change the narrative in Tatum's name. And then you go into next season as a back-to-back champion. You're a Finals MVP. You carry all that momentum into next season. You've got a great chance to win the NBA MVP. I think right now his focus needs to be on repeating as NBA champion. Go into the NBA Finals and win Finals MVP. That will help him change the narrative. And then you go into next season. Now, I understand he's still going to face a lot of competition next year. But you show up in the finals where it counts. You shoot the ball well. All of a sudden, things start changing for Jayson Tatum. Now, all of a sudden, you're like, okay, is he top 3? Was 2-time champion, Finals MVP? And you could say, oh, he's on a great roster. It's just a weak take because you need a competent roster to win championships. You need to have a good GM to win championships. Like everything matters when it comes to winning a title. You can't have a bad GM or a bad roster and expect to win championships. That's not how it works. Because if you see a guy like Luka Doncic and the Mavs are struggling to win ball games, the main narrative is going to be, well, Luka needs more help. Or Jokic right now. People are saying that Jokic needs a better roster. So which one is it? Like the main thing is I think people don't like Tatum because he plays for the Boston Celtics. I think if he was having success with the Thunder or the Warriors or the Bulls, whoever it may be, I think the narrative may be different. But because he plays for the Boston Celtics, that's why he's so polarizing. Also, there's been games where he just hasn't been reliable. If Tatum wants to have any chance to improve his odds to win MVP this season, he has got to outperform or match the performances from Luka, Jokic, SGA, Kawhi, LeBron. Like these star players, Tatum has to be the main catalyst of why the Celtics win those basketball games because that schedule is going to be rough for Boston. And if he can overcome the adversity, let's just say Porzingis has injury problems or, he doesn't have all his guys in there and he's the main reason why they overcome those adversities, then he's going to be right there and have a strong case to win the NBA MVP. But he's got to be elite in January. If he's not, and he's attempting 10 threes a game, the conversation's over. That's not a knock on Tatum. It's just facts. I think Tatum, the next step for him is to be a consistent mid-range shooter, be a consistent three-level scorer, and bring his three-point attempts down to 6 or 7 a night. And we're having different conversations about Tatum. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Jayson Tatum and why he gets snubbed as an MVP candidate. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.